This welder is a Lincoln Electric 130, really old engine-driven stick welder. It has no compression, so the flywheel just spins freely. I'm fairly certain there's a stuck valve, so we're going to try and fix that today. First step on this, I'm fairly certain, is pulling off the head, which has a cover and the gas tank is on there. This I'm working on in a wood shop, so I don't have all the right tools that I usually have in the shed. I'm gonna hit all these bolts with a little bit of penetrating oil before I do anything. These bolts are extremely tight on this head, which is extremely common to find on an old engine like this. I pulled all the bolts out now, so now I'm going to take a crowbar and just try and pry off the head. I have the head off of it now, you can see it right there. The head gasket looks to be in decent shape. I snapped one of the bolts. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Now I'm going to turn it over and see if the valves move accordingly to how they should. It looks like the intake valve closer to me may not be closing completely or at all. Otherwise, I don't know what would cause it to have so little compression. So I think I might have to lap those, but I don't know exactly how. I'm gonna throw a little bit of penetrating oil in there, pull a little bit of stuff off the top of the piston, and see what that does to it. Important thing to look for in an engine like this is for scoring in the cylinder wall, but from what I can see, the cylinder wall looks like it still has its cross hatching, so maybe a tiny bit of score marks, but those shouldn't take away as much compression as we have lost. So I think I'm gonna wire brush. I don't know if I should or not, but I think I might use a wire brush on the valves. And I put some penetrating oil in there, so it should loosen them up a little, make them move better, I think. Throw the head back on there, see if it fixed our major compression issue. See you guys in a minute. The fluid in the valves helped it have a little bit more compression now, so now I think it has sufficient compression to crank over. Still don't know what I'm going to do about the broken head bolt. Next thing, pull off that carb, see what's... It doesn't have a bottom of the float bowl, but I found that. So it's right there. Now I just need to pull that off, pull the carb off. I think I might take it outside, spray some starter fluid straight into the engine and see if it'll crank. Hey everyone, I'm back working on this old welder generator. I need to pull this bolt out that I snapped, so I'm gonna try and use what I have. I drilled a hole in it so I could get a better grip. I'm gonna use these little baby needle noses and try and use these vice grips to lock them down and maybe yank it out. I don't know how else to do it. I just had a better idea. If I try and put a flathead shape on that. In the very little room I have, might be able to put a flathead on there and pull it out easier. I'll try that. I'm going to use this Dremel tool right here to try and grind the flathead shaped groove in. I don't know if it'll be thin enough or not. I didn't have a cutting disc, so it may or may not work. Well, that did not work. I cannot get a groove in that. So I think I'm gonna somehow have to get I need to get some kind of a bit that'll go in there and make it go backwards. I think maybe heat might work. I don't remember. I think heat should do it. I might go get some heat. I'm gonna try heating this up just in case I got the old fire extinguisher. I'm gonna use this propane torch. Now that it's relatively hot, I'm gonna attempt to just unscrew it. I think heat should do the trick. Well, the heat didn't do the trick. I think I can't weld anything on there to get it off because obviously this is a welder and it's not working. So I think I might have to solder something on there. I don't know if it'll hold though. I thought of a better idea. I'm gonna get mallet and hammer heated up again. See if I can tap the screwdriver in and make its own slot and kind of bond with it and then be able to pull it out that way. On that bolt that I broke, I went to Tractor Supply and bought a bolt extractor kit, and I somehow managed to break the bolt extractor in there. So now the bottom of it's inside the bolt, and I think I'm gonna have to drill it out and use a bigger extractor, I guess, but I don't know. Hi everyone, I'm back working on this welder, and I forgot to record, but I figured out it has no spark now, so we're gonna deal with that. I'm gonna look. I'm not quite sure how this engine gets sparked, but I thought it would have a coil. It looks like it probably has a points system then. I don't know where that would be on here, but somewhere on this engine there's points that I can sand down. I thought it would be on the flywheel, but now I realize that's smaller engines, so yeah. I'll pull out the point system. These are the points that make the spark, and I took them off of, there's a little panel that they go under right there, and that little piece goes out and touches them together to create, I guess, a circuit, and that's, I guess, when it chooses when the spark comes. So I'm going to sand those down and see if that helps, and yeah. Okay, so we're back here working on this welder, and it is currently not having any spark. So I'm going to pull off this cover right here and the flywheel and see if we can. I'm planning to probably just replace the ignition coil. Most of these engines I'm pretty sure are meant to run with a battery, so they have a side ignition coil, but this one I'm pretty sure it's mounted straight to the inside of the flywheel, so that's what we're gonna have to do to get it off. So yeah, I'm not gonna record it because it's kind of boring footage, and I'm running out of space on my phone. Hi everybody, I'm here working on this welder again, and today I'm trying to pull off the flywheel. And I don't have the special flywheel pulling tool, so I'm gonna do it in a different way. I'll show you guys in a minute. I just need to go get the tripod. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insert this screwdriver on one end. It's not really a screwdriver, but it basically is. And I'm going to hold there with a little bit of pressure, and then I'm going to tap a little bit. Need to get a better grip. Oh, I'm shaking that cover off. I probably should pull that off, but I won't. So I'll try over here instead. This should not damage the magnets theoretically, so at least I don't think. I wish I had a flywheel remover, but I don't, so I'll just have to do this until it comes off. I might need to find a better way to do this, but I don't want to buy a flywheel puller because that costs me money and time. So I'll probably just keep prying on it. I can use just a claw. This is definitely not how you're supposed to do it, so if you're working on one of these, don't do it this way. This could probably damage the flywheel significantly. Nothing. I'm gonna need to find a better way. I'll put a different screwdriver. Here's like a true screwdriver. Maybe this will work. I don't know, I think this is fairly tight on there for a flywheel because it's so old. Something's crumbling from it. I can't tell where that's coming from though, so I won't worry about it yet. I'll probably worry about it later though. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I could make a flywheel puller. I don't know. Well, okay, I kind of made my own flywheel puller right here, and I'm gonna try pulling it off. Well, I'll have to put a shorter bolt on the other side now. I need you guys on the tripod real quick. That should be shining in the right direction. Let me pull this big one. Oh, that's it. That's not good. Whatever. Well, that didn't work. That metal's not strong enough. I'm going to get some angle iron, I guess. Well, that's all that. Okay, I made a much more robust version of what I had before out of a piece of angle iron, and this time I should be able to just tighten the bolts and it should come off. I'm thinking... Never mind. I'm gonna have to take a little bit off of that. I need to take a little bit more off of that end because it's scraping up against the fins. I'll do that. There, now it should work. Well, I bent the angle iron slightly. I'm gonna put on I'm gonna flip it around and see if that helps at all. Oh, that won't work. Washers in there so I can tighten down more on that other one. This is boring footage, so I'll just pull it off camera. Hey everybody, I'm back working on this welder, and I've decided I cannot get the flywheel off. I don't know how, so I think I might just pull this engine off and put an entirely new engine on it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So yeah. Hi everybody, I'm back working on this welder. And I figured out the reason it wasn't getting a spark is because the ground wasn't grounding there. So I just tightened it up and now it's getting spark. And now it popped off with some starter fluid. So I'm going to put a new carb on it and hopefully it'll run by the end of the day. So I'll put that carb on and then be right back. Okay, I finally got this welder running. like kind of running. It has an air leak where the head bolt's cracked, but I got the spark issue fixed by the kill switch wasn't grounding, and then it was always like acting like it was dead, so I just disconnected the wires from that. So now it should run. So it doesn't run how it should because of the air leak, but other than that, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna fire it up and try and weld. It doesn't generate any power. I already tested that, so that's out. The generator doesn't actually work. power. Like, it doesn't have enough power to really strike up.
How'd you get it running without that screw working?
What?
How'd you get that running without getting that bolt out?
I don't know. It has enough compression to run. It definitely has an air leak there, though.
Are you recording video?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm recording. I'll turn it off. But yeah, I got a few terrible welds.